We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
I'm not getting sushi after Monday Night Raw.
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It's Saturday, March 7th. Obviously, we've got a lot of big news coming off of last night's SmackDown. Things are starting to fall into place for WrestleMania, and we're going to have to break all that down because this is going to be a really fun day here at WR. I've got a sweet crew hanging with me. Let me introduce them to you real quick, then we'll get right into this show. First and foremost, let me send this to Philadelphia, to the man, the myth, the legend, head of opinions, Anthony Ricciardi. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing all right. It's first show I'm doing post Danhausen's debut, so it's always fun to do those. I'm looking forward to talk about SmackDown, and I know Danhausen's not on here, but loved the segment last night.
We'll get into the Danhausen segment for sure. It's worth discussing. We've got plenty of time here, but before we get into the show, I gotta send it to my hometown of Chicago. I love doing that every single time. Yes, we hung out on Tuesday, but we hung out in real life 1 week ago today. That does not feel like 7 days ago. But Davis, good to have you back. How you been, my friend?
We're doing good. It's actually getting some warmer weather, so nothing like last Saturday where my sinuses flared back up. But yeah, I'm excited to talk SmackDown. Danhausen, it was something a week ago, but he has grown on me. I'm gonna get a photo op at WrestleMania if he's doing one. That's what we're doing. So I'm excited to talk SmackDown. WrestleMania is falling into place.
It's a must. And as he said to The Miz, obviously, like, he's not the goth kid that wasn't invited to the party. He was the jock. He was the prom king. And then I'm sure he'll have another conversation with Cold Steve Austin over on Monday Night Raw. But he did seem to have well, the glasses. This guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, he did have, it seemed to have a rapport with Nick Aldis. Aldis was slightly more accepting of Adam Pearce, as it didn't appear he needed a drink post-segment as Adam Pearce did. But man, you want to talk about a turnaround. I truly, truly love it. We've got some comments already. It is National Cereal Day. I'm representing it with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No doubt about it. I love it. Shout out Zach Minger. Wish I was on the show, family. Oh man, we absolutely do. What is that? The Panther News Network. Big time SmackDown, no doubt. Yeah, man, reach out. We're glad to have you, of course, though. No question about it. Let's get right into this first segment here, though. This one's interesting because we've got Rhea, Ripley, and Jade Cargill. And if you want to put anything on a poster, these two both are chiseled out of stone. We know that. Rhea Ripley's an absolute killer. She is Rhea Ripley at times. All the time. Honestly, let's be honest. The Riptide, one of the best moves, most devastating moves in women's wrestling. And you have Jade Cargill, who looks like a video game character. Like really, really, really great graphic designers can't make Jade Cargill up. Obviously, I love that she brought back the good old catchphrase, tagline, whatever you want to call it, the moniker, that B word. We won't say it here on YouTube because you never know in the audience here, but that B word, that's what she's using. Guess who else used it last night? That's one Rhea Ripley. At first, I was a little confused, my friends, because I was like, why is Jade no-selling this? And then it made more sense to me. If she sells that upsetting her, then she's not the heel she needs to be in this match. And I was torn by it when I first watched the segment. I rewatched it this morning and had a lot more clarity on it. That's how I feel about it. I don't think Jade can sell how hurtful those exact words were. Otherwise, we might start rooting for her because it was so cutting and so poignant. The way that Rhea delivered her very own line. She delivered her line as well as she does. Jade didn't need to sell it. The crowd did. And I want your opinion on it because I really actually thought this was an impressive back and forth from both Rhea and Jade, because it was probably hard for Jade to not break, given how cutting the end of this promo segment was.
Yeah, the interesting part is this. Apparently the IWC hated this segment. I feel completely different than that. I actually really enjoyed it because you have two marquee names, just not only name value, but just presence. Like, you put them on a poster and that's your eye catches it. There's a presence about Jade. Yes, she's still technically green from, she has not been doing this a super long time, but she's a superstar. You could tell. She walks in a room, your eye gravitates towards her, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, because there's just presence there. Jade has had dominant reigns in AEW, obviously the TBS championship. In WWE, she's got the women's title. Barely defends it, but still, she has this air about her. Rhea has been multiple time champion, a dominant champion. So the two of them going against one another, that's a dream match. I know some people might say it's not, but I think you're wrong, because that image generates money. And I think they're going to generate money in the ring when they do it. I think it's smart that they're not getting physical, at least not yet anyway, because you want that. I want to see that on the grandest stage. You don't want it be belittled or watered down because they've been in a 6-person tag or they've been in some type of thing. Like, you kind of either do a quick punch back and forth, pull apart, and then they don't touch. You kind of do something like that, or you do segments like this. Like you said, Jade needs to no-sell this. Jade's character is this overconfident, I'm better than you, I don't respect you character. And Rhea, she's seen them come, she's seen them go. She's not blown away by Jade. She's not intimidated by Jade. So it's a movable force, unstoppable object type presence there. I think it's smart the way they're doing it. I liked the segment. I think, you just keep building on that. I think you're in solid ground right there.
It feels like vintage storytelling, to your point. I think that's where, like,
too, it's just blurring the lines is the biggest thing, because you want the audience, because as much as the IWC goes, I know everything, I know what they're doing, you want to sow those seeds of doubt of going, well, I don't think they were supposed to be doing that. I don't think you're supposed to say this. Like, that's what you want. Want those blurring.
You know what it is, Ant? There's a level of Tyson Holyfield to this.
Yeah,
where
I
it's like that. They both look the scariest possible. Yes. Put them on the poster. We happen to like one slightly better at the moment. That's a time capsule now, because history remembers one side better than the other, which is weird. And I'm not trying to make that part of the comparison when it comes to this, but it has that feel. Okay, also, I have to come clean because this is cracking me up. I had the window smaller than normal, and Lawrence, I should have known.
I thought that was Lawrence, and I was
the letters. No, the letters when I was reading the initial comment were so small because of the way that I had the window set up from a production side. I have to come clean to the audience here. I was like, I can't. It's a long username. I was like, oh my gosh, that is Lawrence. Good to have you as always. He said Ant cooking. Yes, that is facts. I couldn't agree more. Drew's going to start filming in Hollywood after WM42 for the Highlander reboot. That's interesting to know. To note, I didn't know that. That is important. And then good afternoon, WR crew from Fernando. Good afternoon, Fernando. Good to have you as always. And then I'm that B character. Yes, no doubt. But Davis, I got to get your opinion on this, because it does feel like, and this is no knock on Liv Morgan or Stephanie Vaquer, anybody involved on the Raw side. This feels like the bigger, more important, for lack of a better way to put it, the women's title match that carries more weight headed to Mania. Are you in agreement on that? And I think they really added to it last night.
To me, this promo did so much for the actual feud. However, just as of right now, this feud doesn't move me, and it's not a knock on either wrestler. Both are tremendous talents, generational talents. This is a knock on creative and their lack of building Jade to where I think she's a credible champion. However, I do think we're in a position to where I think the ending result is going to be something climactic. We've heard for the past few months, Jade and Bianca this, Jade and Bianca that. Jade and Bianca have no beef. There's nothing to build there. The last time we saw them two, Bianca was raised in Jade's hand, winning against Naomi. But you know who Bianca has beef with? Rhea Ripley. Bianca is going to be the catalyst in this whole feud. And at WrestleMania, that is my hot take for the day. I think Bianca is going to be the one to screw Rhea Ripley. Because as of right now, you need something big to happen. Because all you have is Rhea Ripley, an Elimination Chamber winner, and you have Jade Cargill with one title defense in over 120 days. You need something there. They're off to a good start with the promo. I think you're going to get to Mania a little better than you got with Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton last year. I think that got a little too messy. But I do think we do get a third party involvement here. And I think that third party is Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 42.
I think that that's fascinating. And if Bianca is capable and cleared, I would love to see some involvement. But does that mean a Bianca heel return? The only thing that scares me about that idea is if Bianca shows her face in the ponytail at all at WrestleMania, the crowd will explode. Bianca's beloved. So even if she's on the wrong side of history here, interfering on behalf of Jade Cargill, if that ponytail is hanging out, if we go masked scenario like we are with Seth Rollins, and you have the ponytail,
flavor of the month,
the crowd goes absolutely ballistic for that. And then you have to have some sort of double turn there. That's what scares me about that scenario, because especially because absence makes the heart grow fonder. When it comes to Bianca Belair, upon her return, had the injury not happened, I think a heel run was in the cards. And I think you're right about that in hindsight, which is always 2020, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if the risk of the biggest babyface in the ring, of the bigger of your two women's title matches between the two nights being the one that's not involved, Bianca Belair, is too great. That's the only caveat I have. Now, the idea on paper itself, though, Davis, sign me up. I'm a diehard Bianca Belair fan. And if this was a triple threat, I think it should main event night one. Had Bianca been healthy and able to insert herself into the storyline, the idea of Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Jade Cargill, that level of athleticism in the ring all at once, that to me is a main event match. The problem is this isn't WWE 2K26 universe mode.
This is the middle of night two, I feel.
That's kind of I'm hoping it opens night two.
I think it's more than likely it's going to open. I agree with you, Clark. I think this is the bigger of the two women's championship matches, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Bianca. I have no idea when Bianca will be back. The one name you could throw in, if anybody interfered, and I'm not saying they would, is Naomi. Would probably make a lot of sense because she obviously has history.
But with like Jade,
she does.
That's so true. And Naomi, again, that goes back to the when is she available thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
Now, exactly what Davis presented. If Naomi's available, to me, that actually makes more sense than Bianca here, because you will get the boos.
Yes.
If Naomi inserts herself in this, you will get the boos.
I don't know.
She left it. She left as a heel. So if she comes back as a heel, it makes sense.
She did a good enough job. She might get like a half.
She'll get a return.
Well, the truth is, we do know the reality. She's a new mother, so that is tough to overcome as well. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's one of those we will see. We will see when it happened. Yeah, she did. To Lawrence's point, she just, I believe, recently had the baby. So it's too close, I think.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, we can speak in hypotheticals, at least, every now and again.
Like I said, if of the two, I think she would make more sense storyline wise, but I don't think either one's going to appear.
Now let's talk about the tag team division really quick, because I actually find this pretty hysterical. there were a lot of complaints about not taking advantage of the R-Truth return and him being more serious or whatever, blah, 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 blah. The fact that he's honoring his childhood hero, the man that he grew up idolizing, and John Cena in every match, not just the gear. Not only that, he's got his new best friend, Damian Priest.
His new old best friend, yes.
His new old best friend, and they hit the big clap together and the double finishers. I've complained about thrown together tag teams. I got to come clean once again. I feel like this is more of like a therapy session for me than even a broadcast, but I've got to come clean. I've complained for a long time about thrown together tag teams. This one's awesome.
Yeah,
I can't lie, right hand. This one's awesome.
This one's not truly a thrown together team. They were in Judgment Day, even though, Damian insisted he wasn't a member of Judgment Day. But they were tied to the hip from then. And you would see Damian break character because of stuff Truth did back then. So they're legitimately close. I don't have an issue with it. I know people want to complain of going, well, Truth should have been more serious. They did it because of the Cena thing. Like it was directly tied to the Cena thing. Could they have done that better? Yes. But at the end of the day, his comfort zone in WWE is that comedy character. He's a great hand and he's a comedy character. That's what he is. That's what fans want. I think, realistically, is he going to do a serious run? Probably not. I believe he's close to 50. If he's not at least 50, I think he's older than AJ, if I'm not AJ Styles, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or he's around the same age. I don't know how much longer Truth's going to be doing this. So I'm completely fine with this. And quite frankly, the two tag teams that have been fighting for the tag titles in the Wyatts and the MFTs, I don't give a crap about either one of them. So I'm completely fine with them putting it on Truth and Priest, to be perfectly honest. It gives Priest something to do because he's just kind of floated since he had that world title. So I have no problem with them doing that. If the rumors of Bad Bunny returning, why not do a 6-man tag and have Bunny with them too?
Here's the other thing though, and technically, doesn't that put him one United States title away? Wait, no, he hasn't been IC champion, has he? Priest?
Truth?
Priest.
No. No. I don't believe so. No.
Because I'm like, can we get him a Grand Slam championship? Does that get him one step closer if he and Truth carry the belts? That's where my wheels started spinning for a second.
Yeah, because the Judgment Day had the tag title, but it wasn't him. Was it him and Balor?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I'm just wondering. No, he has not. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. R-Truth is 54 from Crystal Clare.
Yeah.
R-Truth is older than John Cena.
Yep.
I'm not trying to knock anybody in the comments. Guys, that's the joke.
Yes.
that's always been the joke.
Cena's even said it. He goes,
I'm going to let you guys in on a real secret here, too.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy's not real either. He's not.
What?
Well, maybe he is.
but that's the whole thing. It's a comedy character. That's the whole gimmick. I'm completely fine with it. You want to try to rebuild the tag division? I was completely fine with the Turmoil match last night because I'm like, yes, focus on the tag titles, and you had some legitimate teams in there. So I'm curious to see if more comes of that. I think you need to get out of the Wyatt MFT. I don't know. Noose around everyone. I don't know. This is Boulder just holding down the tag division that's completely useless.
It's so true. I felt bad for Motor City Machine Guns last night. Like that didn't make any. What did they do? Like wrong?
It's one of those things that I think they were brought in to help bolster a tag division. They're both in their 40s as well, but could they be used better? Yes. The problem is they only have a finite amount of TV time, and I don't know how much they're willing to dedicate to tag teams. They never have.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay, because we got to get to this main event topic, Davis, I'm going to go straight into our next topic here because I think we've got some things to unpack in our what do you want to talk about it segment at the end of the show. So hang in here, my friends, because this is going to be a fun one. But let's talk about Oba Femi and the newly dubbed Puff Puff Toss, which is an odd reference, and then the amount of shoulder blocks to poor Johnny Gargano. Why did we send him out in jeans and a t-shirt? I feel like at least put him in ring gear if you're going to have your head spiked. I thought he got knocked out
I mean,
twice
Clark,
in the segment.
they may have been Muggsy, so he had flexibility.
Yeah, they're stretchier jeans than normal. Yeah. That's the only excuse I could think of possibly for this one. But Oba Femi shoulder blocked him in the corner 9 bazillion times. Probably the most of anybody, which, I mean, it took like what, 2 until Kit Wilson fell forward to get thrown across the ring. What I don't understand is how Oba Femi hits the Triple H spit with so much without using a water bottle. I've never really I haven't clocked that since he's been on the main roster. That's more of a main roster thing than we saw
Clark,
in NXT.
We're not that tall, so maybe it's a height thing.
Is that all saliva? Like, is this guy just keeping like a sip of water in his mouth throughout the match? He's squashing these guys like, wait till I spit this out? Because it is like a full-blown mist. I don't know, Davis. What'd you think? Because there's almost nothing more fun right now to me, though, than watching Oba Femi squash people. But I really actually felt bad for Johnny for the first time of all of these main roster squashes last night.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty hyped when I saw Johnny Gargano just like, Johnny Wrestling's back, and I'm like, let's go. And then we hear that and we just know it's over. It's over. It's all she wrote. With this, I do think it is a little foreshadowing, because who else is having an open challenge? Brock Lesnar. This is very good. The very good signs that I do think Oba Femi is going to answer Brock Lesnar's challenge. I don't know if he does it before WrestleMania. I think before WrestleMania. I think if it's announced before WrestleMania, it'd be a better build. I think if it's during WrestleMania, it's pretty predictable. Predictable is not always bad, but I do think this is leading to Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Johnny, man, I'm rooting for him. If y'all in the comments who have not seen the era of Johnny Gargano in the black and gold, please go back and watch. You'll kind of understand my frustration with it, because he is such a talented wrestler. He's a top 10, at least on the SmackDown division. He deserves at least something of substance and not laying on a box. You know, Ciampa's doing good. I'm glad he's doing well. I'm just hoping the same for Gargano. He gets some kind of run. At least go back to the NXT. I think even an NXT small little micro run might do a little justice here. They're needing some kind of star power in the men's division. Once Ricky Saints and Ethan Page moves up, maybe Johnny can replace that. But yeah, Oba Femi to the moon. Johnny Gargano, send help. Send help.
Is Ciampa really having that much better of a run for the
slightly, basically, right now? I mean, poor Johnny was so confident walking to the ring and everything. It's like,
here's the thing: could they be doing more with Johnny? I think yes, but he was never going to be the main event guy on that roster. It was never going to happen. But I think, you could do more with him, because Johnny Wrestling does like a mid card. I think you could do something with him. Having Oba destroy him, I don't know if there's anybody better at selling right now than Gargano. Gargano is really good at the selling part. So if you're trying to emphasize Oba's complete destruction, Johnny's a good person to do that with.
Absolutely. Okay. So we've got a comment here I want to read really quick, which is, I want it to be Oba, but what does Seth do at Mania if Logan in theory may be fighting the Usos? I'm not totally sure on this. That's where I'm a little confused. Mm-hmm. Seth makes sense. So does Oba Femi. That stare down at the Rumble shouldn't have meant nothing, though. And Oba versus Brock is like having 2 Mack trucks drive at each other on a 1-lane highway. Like, who's going to break the ring first is the question there. To me, I think Seth, upon his return, the fact that he was able to recover from a torn labrum so quickly doesn't necessarily need to go after Brock once again, considering he's already been the Beast Slayer. Yeah. Now, if we're going to go no more fancy boots, No more flashy outfits. He's going to dress in black and be a mercenary because now he's upset because he had a vision and it got ruined. He didn't even get to see it through. If
Yeah.
that's the story you tell us, and he goes, no, you forgot. I'm the Beast Slayer. I'm inclined to be completely accepting of that matchup as well. I think that works, but it hinges on Seth's delivery. I believe Seth can handle it, no doubt. Oba and Brock, in a weird way, seems easier.
It's one of those things. Oba and Brock, yeah, it's the two Mack trucks, like you said. I think that only works is if Brock is putting Oba over. I don't think it works the other way around.
Right.
Him and Seth would make sense because of the Heyman tie-in. And Seth's the type, he could eat the loss and it would do nothing to Seth. So I think, you have to play it the right way. If they're going to do Oba Brock, it's one of two things are going to happen. Either it's at MSG, because we know that's one of the stops on the road to WrestleMania, or it's at Mania. Either way, it's in one of those two places if Oba's doing this. That's my guess.
Right. Absolutely. All right, guys. What don't you want to talk about? If you're asking me, our next topic, but we're going to get through this together. All of us. We're going to make it through. According to the internet and the television I was watching last night, Cody Rhodes has regained the WWE Undisputed Championship. And I know it's difficult news to swallow for people like me and others. This is a tough time for all of us. So I know if you're going through it, I totally get it. Stay strong. We'll get through this together, guys. But we are going to break this down. Clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Anthony, you're a guy that really, really, really followed the Cody Rhodes finish the storyline.
Yeah.
You attended all of the WrestleManias it was involved in. I want your opinion on last night and how it felt watching him defeat Drew McIntyre and what it means for the WWE title and the match when it comes to WrestleMania.
Personally, that's not how I would have booked it. I think it was a mistake. I think the smart move would have been to do 5-way because they've been building up Drew, Cody, Jacob, Orton, Sammy's getting involved. I would have done a 5-way in all seriousness. And then I would have either had Orton could have picked up the win, Jacob could have picked up the win, or the only way Cody would pick it up would be if he turned Homelander. I would not have done this. I don't know what their reasoning is. I don't know if, like somebody commented about the Highlander thing. I can't imagine WWE would sign off on him doing Highlander and missing Mania. I don't see that. I don't know if they just viewed it as, we don't think Orton and Drew sells. Like, I don't know if that was the logic. And then they went, well, we've been teasing Orton and Cody for a while. Maybe we do the student against the mentor, former mentor. Maybe that's the direction they go. I don't believe, I know Ben Allison's insisting that Orton's turning heel. I don't think so. Because I think Orton's in this place now where he's the fine line like Austin was, where he's not one or the other. Like, he could be ruthless. Like we saw last night, him taking out Trick, just out of nowhere. So I think the only way Cody retains at Mania, and I think the only way you would do this is if he turns Homelander. I think that's the only way, because if you have him win as a quote unquote babyface against Orton as a babyface, he's going to get booed. He's getting dislikes. Give him a reason to boo. Like, right now you have these, 100,000 dislikes, whatever, the video of him winning. And I've said this before, great. Cody is great at the chase. So is Hangman Page and AEW. They suck as babyface world champions. Cody's done it twice now. He's on the third. I don't expect anything different this third reign. I honestly think the only way it works with him is as a heel. And I know I keep saying that, but like realistically, I think that's the only way it works. You know, Vince shoved Roman down people's throats as a babyface. The audience didn't want it. They did want it once he embraced his heel and found the tribal chief. Then all of a sudden, we love Roman. Like that, then it works. So I think give him Homelander. It's a lot easier to get people to hate you than to love you. And that's just a fact in wrestling.
I think you have an outstanding point here, especially given, you know, me and Davis were at Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd went ballistic when Cody got RKO'd.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd went nuts.
Yes.
And guess what Chicago doesn't like? St. Louis. Atlanta's less of a problem for people from Chicago than St. Louis is.
Yeah.
We treated Randy like he was from the South Side.
You treated Danhausen horribly too, but that worked out.
Well, that happened. That is true. We've got a few comments here. We've got Cody is too over as a babyface to turn him heel, though. I say Orton turns heel after losing to Cody. That'll send people happy. I disagree. Cody is getting more heat than Gunther from Acquisition 21. I almost said excavation. That was a mistake. Thoughts on Coach Cal getting his 900th win from my good friend Blake? None. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. We got a big game today, okay? But Davis, I gotta ask you about this Cody and Drew situation. Does it feel like they just threw that title belt over Drew's shoulder as like a vanity project to kill time till Cody won this on a Friday night? Because it's starting to feel a little bit like that to me, which is even more heelish to the points that Anthony made earlier when it comes to this Homelander theory. We watched Randy Orton get cheered in Chicago. We watched Randy Orton get cheered when he RKO'd Cody. Are you in agreement on that? How do you feel about it? How did you feel about it last night?
I don't have a problem with the match with Cody and Randy. I don't have a problem with it at all. I have a problem with how we got here. Because it was like, if you're taking MapQuest or showing my age, MapQuest, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever, if you're taking that and it's telling you to take like 5 left turns and then you end up at your destination with all you had to do was go straight, like, why did we even give Drew a title run? Like, if you were going to do it back at WrestlePalooza where it makes sense and you can actually have like a proper reign as opposed to, you know, him facing Sammy like for a week. That's all we got. Other than that, I think this feud's going to have a pretty decent payoff. You do have to have something happen in between them. Cody turning heel makes sense, but me actually showing my age again, I remember all the time Cena should have turned heel and they just refused to. He's their main merchandise getter. If Cody's their main merchandise getter, they're not. We're in the TKO era. They're not jeopardizing money. They'll delete an NXT video before they lower ticket prices. They're not touching financials here. So when it comes to who turns heel, I would like to see either one. Randy as a heel is a vicious heel, and I don't know if this era is ready for that. I know y'all know what I'm talking about with 09 Orton, and it's always referenced, but I don't know if this day and age people know how vicious 09 Orton is. Brandy Rhodes is getting punted in the head with an 09 Orton. There's a lot of things bad happening. But is that the best thing for business right now? Because an 09 Orton spices it up. It gives you a hatred. Randy Orton can make you hate him. We've all seen it.
He might punt a casket these days.
Poor Larry's cooked when Roman gets back.
Here's the thing. It is much easier, and this is why generally in wrestling you have a heel as champion, because that's typically more compelling, the babyface chasing the heel as opposed to heel chasing babyface. That's a huge reason. Other than the Hogan run in the 80s, it typically is a heel. Like that's generally the direction you go because that's the money. Because people are paying to see the babyface finally overcome the heel. And then, you know, usually babyface runs don't usually pan out. I mean, other than, you know, Austin back in the day. I mean, Austin was an exception to the rule.
Totally,
like,
of course.
Yeah,
Anti-hero.
you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, that typically doesn't work. Even Cena, at his height, it was still a mixed bag. It was let's go Cena sucks which is a completely different animal. So
I mean, and to that point, like I love favorite psychology cliche is, like the places in your brain that produce love and hate are the two closest spots in your brain to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have a proper heel run, it's easier to start liking you in a weird way because it's right there.
It's the respect. It's the audience respects how good you are. It's like an actor in a movie that plays a bad guy. You love to see them play the role because they're 100%. Phenomenal at it. It's the same thing in wrestling.
And with all of this, Ant, though, I've got to read these comments really quickly, and then I have a really important thing that I have to say. So Orton as a heel is less of a risk. Well, we need to take risks, but I do understand that. Yes, that's true. Heel definitely sells better. If Cody won the Royal Rumble, then he wouldn't have been in the Elimination Chamber. Yes, and thank goodness he did not win that Royal Rumble. But this is your main event of the evening. I want you guys to know because everyone's obviously been clamoring for my thoughts on Cody Rhodes regaining the title. And now it's that time because here's my problem. I've been saying this for 4 years. I started March 2nd of 2022 at WR, right before that big old debut where he shocked Seth Rollins. No scouting, no nothing. Seth, in an advantageous position, absolutely screwed. Cody picks up the victory, of course. Then he has his whole finish the story. We make the entire storyline about Cody Rhodes for the length of his WWE run. He's got to finish his story. We love him so much. This guy's been a heel. I've said it 1 billion times. This guy is a heel. There's no one more self-obsessed than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes loves himself more than he loves anyone else. And it's not close. Now's the time. I don't care about Randy Orton's past. I'm rooting for him. Even if he punts Cody Rhodes, I'm cheering it. The idea that fans are going to turn around at Chamber and Randy turns heel and they're going to boo him is otherworldly. It's out of this world. It's insane. If Randy punts Cody, the Vegas crowd is going to go ballistic. There's no doubt about that. Randy Orton is the babyface in this. If this isn't babyface versus babyface, check the 100,000 dislikes. Peep those ones. Take a look at that. What do you think about that? Cody Rhodes is and has been a heel since he finished the story. Look at the way he talked to Sami Zayn. What did Sami Zayn do to him? Are you kidding me? This guy is the scum of the earth. He's self-centered, and he's pulled the wool over all of our eyes for 4 consecutive years. 4 years in a row, and he did it again. Drew McIntyre carries the WWE title as a bookmark in Cody's second story. Knock it off. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I hope Orton does punt him, and he'll still be the baby face. I want to see like 9 RKOs, that draping DDT, all of it. 2 or 3 really good power slams. I don't want to see a single Cody cutter. I want none of it. I want Jacob Fatu to realize it was Cody that attacked him the whole time, because he did. And if he didn't, he orchestrated it. And I know it. I've known it all along. But just know, I am sick. I am sick of this Cody Rhodes sham that's been going on for all of this time. I've had enough of it. And last night was the cherry on top. Oh, we only used 1 crossroads this time, so now the move's protected. No, it's not okay anymore. I'm over it. Shoot. All right. I feel better now, guys. I hope that's okay with everyone. We got a comment here. Hey, man, Clark. Yes, thank you.
That's my girlfriend. Yep.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I mean, look, I just can't have it anymore, guys. It keeps happening. And Anthony broke it down perfectly when I tossed it to him early in the segment. It's Homelander time. Pull the trigger.
I think the boos are because they want the Homelander thing. The thing with Sammy, though, he's annoying as crap backstage. I gotta be honest with you. That would get a cheer from me. Like when Cody did flash out at him, I'm going, all right, that was warranted because he has been annoying as crap for the past 2 weeks or whatever weeks. Like somebody had to say it to him.
I mean, I don't know. Cody getting exacerbated in every promo is one thing. We've got Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So if you're going to wear your American Nightmare gear, just know that my dreams will only be nightmares until the end of April, when we can finally solve this dang problem.
If it makes you feel any better, the number one merch seller isn't Cody, it's Danhausen.
I know.
Give him a title run. Let him finish his story.
Yeah, let Danhausen finish the story, Cody.
Well, he's picking up a mentor. So
He's just Paul Heyman now.
By the way, the funniest was the MIZ. It was his 3 sayings. I gotta give Miz credit. That was as funny as anything.
I enjoyed. Apparently Danhausen posted something of going, Miz, what's your address? I want to come over. And apparently he also gave a new to Danhausen, Clark, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this. He wants his face on the sphere.
Yes.
Well,
it.
I think that makes perfect sense. Danhausen is Money in the Bankhausen. I couldn't agree more.
Oh my God, yes. I listen. I will never complain about a Danhausen push.
Okay, by the way, honestly, one of the funniest Danhausen things you could do, though, is have him think he's in the Money in the Bank match and just interfere because he believes he's in the match, but don't give him like an entrance. Put 6 people in it, and then he just comes out and he's looking around like, why is there no music?
What if he comes down when somebody cashes in their Money in the Bank briefcase and just takes the briefcase and walks away and insists that he cash? Somebody already cashed in. You didn't win this. No, Money in the Bank.
Absolutely. Okay, by the way, though, that is going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. We appreciate you so much. Make sure, if you have no plans tonight and you're watching NXT, immediately following, we'll be live right here, same exact place for Off the Air with me, Drizzy, and Shad. Better yet, tomorrow we'll be back, same time, same place for the daily broadcast. Of course, that's noon Pacific, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. Everything's confusing this week, guys. Usually it's 9 a.m. in Hawaii. I have this thing dialed, but time change is a hassle. We will get back to you on the official time and we'll announce it. So stay tuned into like the Twitter and the Instagram WR-wise, because we will give you an update on the exact start time, whether you're in the UK or US. We do have to organize that today. Now, more importantly than that, on behalf of me, Anthony, and Davis, I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, and we appreciate all of you tuning in. We will talk to you soon. Shoot, Cody's champ again. Whatever.